What's going on, everybody? Today is some fucking day of the week. Tuesday? Fucking Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. So I've had some of y'all ask me to tell you about my deployment. Or I should say, to be fair, mine and brother Rondell's deployment, because we were in the same fucking company, same platoon, same fucking squad together. And that is why we're hung die till we die. Deadwood. Watch that shit. Anyways, yeah, some of y'all fucking want to know about my deployment. So I guess let's fucking go. It was hot and dirty, and people tried to kill us occasionally, and I like turtles. It was a good time. Spent 13 months over there. Iraq being in particular. We never got the chance to go to Afghanistan. That's where every infantryman wants to go, because that's where those fuckers are more likely to fight you, man to man, as opposed to the pastime that is fucking very prevalent in Iraq of burying IEDs and trying to blow your ass up. Which they did a few times. But we have good vehicles that did the job, and we were luckily never hit any EFPs, because those might have done a number on us. But I digress. As far as deployment goes, you get there first, and you have no fucking clue what's going on, especially if you've never deployed before, which we hadn't in that case. Some of the guys in our company had been there the first time in 03-04 and fucked shit up with their Bradleys. Did good work overall. Good job, fellas. Yeah, you get there, and the fucking way it worked for us, our company was fucking attached to some fucking National Guard company. It's really fucking weird. We basically got a horde out for the sake of the greater army, right? We were attached, but we were in charge of security, convoy security. So what that means is we ran gun trucks, and we were in charge of running convoys all over Iraq, everywhere, just fucking wherever they needed shit, we were taking it there. We were either escorting civilian contractors, driving big old Mad Max looking fucking semi trucks full of goodies, or we were taking military personnel who were driving military trucks, or we were taking, I think we only had to do that once in particular, was fucking third country international motherfuckers, right? They were fucking crazy. That was anything goes type shit. And they were normally the fucking poor bastards who took the tankers full of highly flammable fuel. So if they got hit, shit was burning real good. And these motherfuckers, I don't even know. No fear or no common sense, but we saw one guy dragging a big fucking part of his box frame under his fuel tanker, was trailing, shooting sparks everywhere, and his fucking trailer was full of fucking fuel, and it was just madness. Those fucking convoys sucked, because they went on for like fucking 3 miles long. It's really a hard convoy to control. But more often than not, our squad ended up with KBR trucks, it seemed like. And for the most part, those civilians were pretty fucking squared away, and they did whatever. You said jump, they fucking jumped. So that made life a lot easier. And when we would take contact, they knew what our fucking SOP was. They fucking follow, the gun truck in front of them, push through the kill zone, get the fuck out of there, stop while some guns suppress, blah, 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 take out the enemy, yeah, you know, shit like that. But yeah, anyways, going back to getting there, we were in a Marine area of operation out in western Iraq, in the Triangle of Terror area, if you will. And so we were running a lot of missions, Fallujah, Ramadi, Baghdad, shit like that. It was a good time, though. Really. I remember, like, the first day we got to our base we were staying at, some fucking Marines who were on their way out were, like, fucking yelling at us out of a bus. There's all these little, like, shitty little Mitsubishi buses that you get. And, like, your company will get one bus or two buses, and they can shuttle you around. Because the place we were on was fucking big. But, they yelled some shit, and we're just like, what the fuck is going on? But you start doing right seat rides, they call them, where, like, you'll have your squad leaders or your truck commanders, they'll ride in the back of the vehicle with the people who you are replacing, right? And they start learning. And then slowly it starts, you know, filtering down to us running our own convoys, and we'll have, like, one dude riding in each Humvee, or each vehicle that we have. We didn't have all Humvees. And, you know, any questions you have, or they'll fucking tell you, hey, this area is notorious for them trying to blow you up, or this town's a shithole because of this or that or the other thing. Now, remember, this one mission we went on in particular, I was just like, I was fucking worried. I was going to get shot in the face, instantly be fucking dead, just black, and not be able to say anything fucking smartass, like, because that's what I say, smartass shit, right? So I had mentioned that to the guy who we were replacing, who was riding. He would have been right down here. I was standing up, sitting in that seat, and he was like, man, unless those guys are within like 100 meters, they're pretty inaccurate as fuck. And, like, as soon as he said that, I was like, well, all right, fuck. And then I was up, standing the whole fucking way, standing through the whole goddamn deployment, fucking living the dream. As far as, you know, the exciting shit, it was intermittent, you know. It just happened when it happened. It wasn't, you know, we randomly, rarely take indirect fire on base, and that was like something that you didn't even bat an eyelash at, because the place we were on was fucking huge. As far as missions go and stuff, you know, generally they went pretty smoothly. More often than not, you had like vehicle maintenance issues where they would break down out in the road in the middle of fucking Iraq or wherever, and you just sit there and you pull security because you always got a mechanic vehicle rolling with you, a wrecker, in case your shit breaks down, and they can snatch your vehicle up, or if it's something they can, like, you know, quick fix on the spot, they'll do that. But it was good. You get to see, a lot of Iraq, and, you know, get to get fucking suntanned like a motherfucker if you're a gunner in one of the open turret vehicles, anyways. And yeah, probably sounds really fucking boring, but it was pretty much daily grind type shit. You know, we'd go do missions, be gone for maybe a day or two. A lot of times we'd go out, get to wherever we were going, spend the night, come back, and work on our vehicles the next day, make sure everything was in order, repeat. And it was kind of like that through the whole fucking deployment. But it was fun because you got tight with your crew. You always rolled with, you know, 3 people in your vehicles for the majority of vehicles. The squad leader's vehicle would have 4, generally speaking, a lot of the times, because they'd have, you know, squad leader was a truck commander, driver, gunner, and then you'd have your medic riding in there. But sometimes medic would, you know, flop around, sit in other vehicles, whatever. But most of the time he was with the squad leader. Yeah, we would go out on missions, and I was on lead gun truck after a little bit in country. Then I was on there for the rest of the deployment. And our job was to go ahead of the rest of the convoy and fucking scout shit out. Basically look for IEDs, look for shit that looks suspicious, find ambushes, and anything like that. Basically just the eyes, the forward eyes for the convoy. And it was fun because we were kind of out there. We didn't have to necessarily worry about, because convoys can get going slow sometimes depending on who you're fucking escorting around and the madness that it's going on in their brains when they're fucking driving. But when you're out in the front lead vehicle, you just kind of do whatevs. You fucking go way out ahead, you stop for a little bit, you shoot the shit with each other, look around, see what's going on, and then the convoy gets a little bit closer and you start rolling again. Basically, you're always just kind of hopping ahead. Basically, it's kind of like a bungee thing. They get close and then you fucking stretch out and the convoy pulls back in, that sort of thing, right? I will be proud to say that we in the lead vehicle never hit any IEDs the whole time we were in country. Our number 2 vehicle, though, they did a fucking good job of not following in our tracks, even though we were however many miles ahead of them. And they would hit them from time to time, but they're an ASV, and those fuckers were up armored pretty good, so if anything, it was more just like nuisance type shit, blow their fucking wheel off or whatever, have to get it picked up by the wrecker, disperse the crew out into other vehicles, and then fix it when we got back, sort of thing. But yeah, I guess on the road, after you're in country for a little while and you get the hang of how things work, just becomes like any other thing. You're just there doing it, right? The one fun thing, I say fun, some of you might think it's strange, but you get to see all these other units, right, in country while you're out and about in different areas of operation. Especially once you got around like Baghdad and stuff, it was more Army area of operation. And, you'd see like all these units that as an infantryman, you look at them and you're like, oh, these dudes are fucking high speed, right? If you guys are in or have been in the military, you'll know the units I speak of, the stereotypical high speed fucking infantry, units or divisions, if you will. And you can see them operate in action. Different branches as well. We obviously saw Marines and how they operated a lot. And just some of the fucking shit you see is just silly, like mind-boggling shit. Like, I won't go hate, shit talking specifically on anyone here. I'll just give you some general things that I saw. One night we were stopped because there was another convoy, or more like a route clearance convoy ahead of us, and they thought they might have found an IED, right? I got my thermal scope. I'm up in my turret and I'm watching the whole thing go down, and I can see where they're looking in the ground and they're out on foot next to it, and I see them kind of like talking to each other and being kind of tiptoey around what it was. And I fucking swear on my fucking dog's life, my Zeph's life, that a fucking individual, who I imagine was probably a private from some branch of the military, fucking kind of starts tiptoeing up to the object, kicks it, and runs away. I thought people were making shit up when they told me that people would do that. Nope, I saw it. And I think my response to that, to the rest of my crew, was, he just fucking kicked it and ran away. To which laughter and guffawing ensued. But that's only one example. We had one Or one. We had fucking, I don't know, a fucking million times. It felt like, obviously not a million, but there was a good 2 handfuls of times where, again, we're lead vehicle, so we would approach other friendly convoys from the rear on a road and be like, we got a big fucking loudspeaker on the truck with like 30,000 fucking lights, police lights, the red and blue. All sorts of shit that you would think would make it pretty fucking clear that we are Americans. That and the whole American person yelling at you over the loudspeaker thing, but whatever. Warning shots, protocol for a lot of units in Iraq, and just the standard response to a threat, right? If you're trying to, like, you gotta slowly step it up. So ours was like wave flags, so we just always had flags on the truck that were waving because we were driving. People got close, you didn't want them to come near, we had these stupid little pin flares and we'd fucking shoot a flare at the vehicle. The vehicle still didn't stop. Then you would shoot a warning shot. And if they still didn't shot, why do I keep fucking saying? They still didn't stop. You would fire another burst, like a burst, like right over their car. And then you go fucking engine, and then finally, if they still don't stop, they're probably right up your asshole by that point. Then you're allowed to actually shoot at the individual driving. Good fucking procedures there. Anyways, we roll up on these fucking trail convoys that are stopped, trail vehicles of the convoys that are stopped, and we would stop a ways back, and we would announce ourselves, right? Say, hey, friendly unit, American unit, we are going to roll up to your vehicle. Don't shoot at us. So, they be fucking flashing like flashlights at us and shit, because a lot of times it happened at night. These fucking retards couldn't see, but you start rolling slowly, and what do? Shoot a fucking pin flare. Hey asshole, we're fucking friendly units. We are approaching your vehicle to speak to you. Stop fucking firing pin flares at us. Again, start approaching slowly. What do? Fucking brah! Fire a fucking burst across your vehicle. Head shaking ensues because you are being fired on by friendly fucking units who are fucking, I don't know, following their fucking SOPs way too fucking strictly. Not using common sense, but this shit, this friendly fire happened well more than once. It just got to the point where it's like, what the fuck, man? People are so dumb. Luckily, we had up-armored vehicles, so as long as you were fucking tucked in, not fucking head up, looking to fucking catch a bullet with your fucking teeth, you're alright. But you get up there and fucking, once they fired the little burst, then the truck commander would really start fucking yelling, and we would drive up. Then he'd yell at the people in the trail vehicle. Then he'd yell at the fucking convoy commander. It was just stupid. Shit happened way too much. Way too much. But I didn't get too bent out of shape over it because a lot of these people were new in country, and you could tell because it was the first time you're seeing them there. So they're just nervous, whatever. Nobody got hurt in that regards. It was just fucking laughable, though. IEDs. There was like this evolution because like terrorists, bad guys, fucking Haji, whatever you want to call them, they learn what your tactics are, and then they take the next evolutionary step in their IED making process to try and defeat your counter defenses. So, they at first a lot of times they're doing command detonated, So they would have something hooked up to the ID and they'd use a cell phone and fucking dial a number and trip the fucking little fucking cell phone they had attached to the bomb, and then that would send the charge. Boom, right? So we got the shit that would basically, it was a jammer. It'd be jamming wireless cell phone signals. And then they just kind of started doing pressure plate IEDs. They did those for a while. Oh, I mean, they were always doing those. Those were kind of a given. But they stuck with those for a while because set it and forget it, right? They got a little fucking, or they got an ID and then they got like a little 2 strips of metal with some like foam or really thin wood in between. And once our tire goes over it, contact, circuit's complete, explosion, yada, yada, yada. We just had a lot more route clearance vehicles then that would go running around. Had this one like single individual vehicle with one person driving it. Had like fucking metal detectors and like a V-body hull, so even if it did run shit over, it would just direct the explosion to the sides. The Marines started putting these big fucking rollers out in front of their trucks that were just full of lines of wheels on them, so their thought process there was you're, 15 feet in front of your vehicle, the wheel will hit the pressure plate, blow it up, and it's just a couple wheels you have to replace. Easy peasy. Then they started getting creative with the EFPs, which I talked about earlier, and those were explosively formed projectiles. And that's basically like to make you be able to picture this easier, take a coffee can, pack it with plastic explosives, and then you put this little copper bowl, basically, tuck that in there, pack it in on top of the plastic explosives, and you aim it facing this way, like straight across or at a little bit of an upward angle, because our vehicles are generally a little bit higher off the ground. So it would trip and it would shoot, and something that starts off as a bowl, then it fucking turns into a fucking slug, like a shotgun slug, if you ever seen one of those. And those fuckers were effective. They would punch through pretty much anything that we had. So that was pretty impressive. They had some, like, at first they were doing like commandette and like pressure plated, but the way it worked was they wanted to be more effective and hit the front passenger compartment of the vehicle, where 2 of us were essentially side by side on from their explosion, so they could possibly take out, more damage, more collateral damage. And they started using these like thermal triggers. So the thought process here was they would see a vehicle's, it would read the heat from the engine, and it would fucking send the fucking trigger for detonation, and it would fucking shoot, boom, like smoke us, right? So then, they realized some vehicles, hey, the engine might be out farther. Engine might be out farther than the people are back. So then they'd start putting like a delay on it. They'd set the fucking trigger up ahead. And then once the trigger hit the engine, say, for a Humvee, the engine's, farther out in front of you than where you're sitting. So they would set the fucking EFP behind it. And then once it caught the heat from the engine, then it would shoot and go through the fucking driver and TC's compartment. So then we started getting these fucking big, goofy, fucking fold-down flag things, right? They're like big metal fucking poles that stuck out in front of your vehicle, and they had a box on the front, like, yay big, that wide, or thin. And it had like a heating element. It basically had glow plugs in it. So our thought process there was that we would trigger the explosion early, and it would just shoot before our vehicle was even in front of it. So then they did the same kind of thing where they put a delay on the fuse, and they just would get it triggered, and they'd be like, okay, normally these people keep them that far out in front of the vehicle, so if we put a delay of, whatever, 1 second, 2 second, then it'll be shooting right when the vehicle is got broadside going on, right? So it's constantly a back and forth of them thinking new ways to kill us and us thinking of new ways to defeat their attempts to kill us. So that was kind of entertaining. But you all the time, you're just basically along for the ride, like, whatever. I think most everybody gets to a point like, hey, there's no real logical reason to worry about dying because, you only have control over so much. Like, you have control if you're looking at a dude and you're firing at a dude with your weapon in that sense, but if it comes to, like, IEDs and shit, or fucking random, like, mortar fire, rocket fire, whatever like that, and, just fingers crossed, right? Everybody had lucky, I think, like, little lucky charms with them. So, yeah, that's what you do. And then the fuckers one time, they got their hands on, like, chlorine tanks, and then they were adding those in with the fucking IEDs. So even if you'd hit the IED and it wouldn't really do much damage, but then you all of a sudden you got this chlorine gas in the air, and that fucking shit burns your lungs, like, bad. Not good. So then we had to start carrying our gas masks again, like, fuck. Like, we hardly ever carried that shit. Like, I know back when people first invaded, they were worried about the Scud missiles and all that shit. So they were always wearing their mop gear and had their gas mask at their side. But when we went, it was just like, what? We got to carry our fucking gas masks now? But, guess it's better throwing your gas mask on than burning your fucking lungs up with some chlorine gas. So, yeah. It's a good place, I guess, to leave off. We were there 13 months, so this is a good start. I'll have to keep this story going. But yeah, here I am, one piece. Luckily, I just told everybody I had bulletproof skin, so fuck it. I wasn't worried. Until the next episode, we will get into some more of the, I guess, their ambush tactics, because those were interesting. If you watched any of Brother Rondell's videos, you heard some of his stories. And I guess I have kind of talked about one of mine in one of my Q&A responses to Brother Rondell. Also, if you haven't checked out Brother Rondell, what the fuck are you waiting for? Check him out. He's my fucking homie. We go way back. Way back. Way back. Anyways, thanks for watching. Also, I want to point out that I just noticed we are at 69 subscribers. Best fucking number in the world. If you don't know why that's the best number in the world, y'all need to get out and live a little. Or stop being so goddamn selfish and share with each other. As always, comments, concerns, questions below in the crotch region. My fucking armpit's sweating. You too, kids, can get that if you go to Iraq. But yeah, if you like what you're seeing, let me know. If you hate what you're seeing, let me know. If you got any ideas for shit you want to see, let me know. If you want to share with your peeps, if you got any other friends you want to fucking convince into joining the military, because it's a great fucking step to take after school. Because trust me, if you go for the military and even just do like your 4 years or whatever and then go to school, you're going to be so much more mature. So much more mature. And your fucking college is going to be paid for. All you got to do is pay that $1,200 in the first year, which is $100 out of each your paycheck. And then you have the GI Bill. Wham bam. Fucking awesome, man. So yeah, thanks for watching. Until the next chapter, suck it.